So, there we go.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, is it tight at the top?
Yeah. Are you talking about Premier League?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely is. Well, this is All Soccer All Day. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your boy Stevie Mack out here in Chicago, and with me as always, Eric D in Los Angeles. How you doing, homie?
I am doing lovely this evening. What is going on, everybody? Greetings and salutations.
All right, so yeah, as always, please leave us a 5-star rating. That would really help us out a lot. You can do it on any of the places that you hear the podcast: Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, all that stuff. So leave us that rating, please. It really helps us a lot. Other than that, Eric D, do you have any news or notes or anything else that you kind of want to talk about before we start getting into the
I
leagues?
sure do.
All right. So
I mean, I think what's probably trending worldwide is Messi's injury. Did you get a chance to see that?
I did, but tell me a little bit more about it, just so that we're all clear.
Well, I guess Messi was jostling for a ball with a guy in this past weekend's La Liga match against, were they playing Sevilla? Or Seville? As the English call him Seville.
Right.
I guess. Right. He fell down and he went to brace his fall with his arm, and his arm bent a certain way that I guess it's not supposed to bend, and fractured his arm, homie. So he's gonna miss the Clásico.
Yeah, it's it's interesting though. That'll kind of make it like more of a fair game, I feel, right
now. Speaking of which, Real Madrid, I believe, is winless in their last 5
matches. Man, it's interesting watching like the post-Ronaldo hangover.
Yeah, there's even talk about Real Madrid making a shock move for Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, well, everyone's talking about Ibrahimovic is going everywhere, right? So whatever,
Number 1 in jersey sales in the MLS.
Yeah, well, that's because he's scoring goals like a madman.
Yeah, because he's a lion. Messi, we shed a tear. He's going to be sidelined for a while. I mean, the man doesn't really get injured, so it's kind of interesting to see Barcelona without him. But,
Well, I don't know. I mean, if there's one thing about it, at least it's his arm. It's not a leg injury,
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
it'll heal up. He'll be fine.
Couldn't he just put his arm in a sling?
I mean, I suppose he could, but I think it might be a little much taking a tackle on falling on that broken arm. I don't know about all that.
You just have to
just roll, tuck and roll, fool.
Tuck and roll, like if he would have just kind of fell, like sometimes you have to realize, like maybe I should just take this one, just bite it. Because it's like, it's grass, it's like how...
Yeah, but I think obviously a lot in those situations, you're not really thinking about it.
It's instinctual, I know, you're trying to break your fall. So, but yeah. So Atlanta United supposedly is going to sign this new Argentinian player, Pity Martinez, I think, right? I don't know anything about this guy, but supposedly he's the next big signing for Atlanta United, which is crazy because I don't know if that means Almiron is going out, or like who's going to leave Atlanta to make room for this guy.
I don't know. Well, hey, look, man, they're starting to stack themselves for the future.
Man, I'm like, Atlanta United is going to make a mockery of the MLS soon enough. Like I don't know if you've noticed, but they are racking up MLS attendance records left and right. Man.
I know.
They're putting everything to shame. Like, we thought Seattle Sounders, respect Seattle. Like, when they were doing their thing, it was like, whoa. Atlanta just came in with like, dude, please.
Step aside.
Step aside.
I like, hold my beer, right?
Exactly.
No, that's true, man. I mean, Atlanta, the fan base and everything that they have going on should be just a model for what we want around the league. I mean, it's hard to duplicate, though. I mean, just everything they have going on, it's just working for them. It's the right time for them. But you know what? As you've already said multiple times, I'm pretty interested to see what happens if they do take a hit, and this is just kind of, they've had a couple good years, but down the road, not everyone can stay good all the time forever. And so
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what happens if and when Atlanta takes a little bit of a slide, doesn't quite perform up to the expectations of these fans who have gotten to see real greatness. They've gotten to see a team that's playing together. However, they're also understanding that playing together, they're feeding their highest talented people. And these guys are putting goals away and making beautiful runs and beautiful plays, and everything's just working together. So they're going to be dangerous in the playoffs. And they're going to be a lot of fun to watch. I think just seeing them and how they roll, they're exciting. I watch them every game they play just to see what they might do, and that's what you want.
Yeah, no, they're entertaining. It's high octane soccer. Yeah, it's like if the MLS could have what they have in Atlanta, in most of their cities or all their cities, I mean, the MLS would be in another stratosphere right now.
That's true.
So I guess the case study is how do you duplicate that or replicate it? And I don't know if you can, because it seems like it came out of nowhere. It seems organic. I don't know. It'd be interesting to take a deeper dive into the Atlanta scene, because it's like they did have soccer teams there in the past, but
yeah, come on, let's go MLS. MLS documentaries. Get on that. So, either that or let us do it. Shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, there's that. I don't know. Checking my notes, I don't have any other news or notes at the moment. You know if anything Stevie Mac is going on that we should
Nah, you know what? Not of real great note, I suppose. Yeah, nothing too much. Let me actually.
Always feeling like you forgot something.
Yeah. I mean, that pretty much always happens. Oh, you know what? Actually, no, I do. I do have something. Tomorrow, the 23rd, Champions League.
Oh.
Matchday 3.
Yeah.
What's that?
I did bring that up because we got Matchday 3 tomorrow and on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And so tomorrow, well, I guess technically this is today for everyone. We're recording on Monday night, and we're going to release this on Tuesday morning. So technically this would be today. So today at 2 p.m. Central. That's noon out in California.
Maybe it's right now. Maybe there's people listening to this.
Yeah, that's true. It might be. If it is 12 o'clock in California or if it's 2 o'clock in Chicago, you should probably pause this, go watch Manchester United taking on Juve.
I'm sure that's going to happen. Oh, that's tomorrow.
Yeah, fool.
I saw Cristiano Ronaldo doing the walkthrough at Old Trafford.
Dude.
Yeah.
So that game's tomorrow, and then also another good game happening on Wednesday. This is there's three pretty legit games on Wednesday. We got PSG and Napoli, which I'm highly interested in. Watching PSG play and seeing how they're trying to figure it out with their stars, and then Napoli, who they're a quality team right now. They're playing good football, so that should be a fun game. We have Dortmund taking on Atleti. So Dortmund, Atletico Madrid, another couple teams that are playing pretty well. And then Barcelona, Inter Milan. So no Messi, and we got Barca taking on Inter Milan. So, out of any of these matches, Champions League Match Day 3, is there anything that interests you? Anything you kind of want to point out?
I think Cristiano Ronaldo returning to Manchester United to Old Trafford. I know he's been there before with Real Madrid. To return again with Juve, considering how his season's going right now and everything that's going on around him, it'll be interesting to see how he performs and how he's received and all that. He scored. I think the last time he was there, he was respectful, didn't celebrate. As you know, that was a nice gesture on his part. Yeah, I'll be definitely looking at that, especially also with Man U and their continual struggles. I know we're going to get into that a little later, but yeah, Man U's a soap opera at the moment.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And so this should make for some entertaining football. I'm pretty excited. 2:00 tomorrow, I will be tuning in, and definitely going to be watching this game. So Wednesday, of course, like we were already saying, some good games then, but I definitely feel that I'm with you. I think that Man U and Juve is going to be the match of this round, this match day, yeah?
No doubt.
Keeping in mind, just to throw this out there, they're in Group H. Juve right now has 6 points. They've won both their games. Man U has won one and had a draw versus Valencia. So this is going to be, it's for first place in the group right now. If Man U can pull out a victory here, then they will take over that group. Otherwise, Juve will stay on top. So,
boom.
All right, cool. So moving forward then, let's go ahead and let's start going through match day 9 of the English Premier League.
9?
Yeah. So we got quite a few really, really top. I mean, like, there was only a couple games when you first look at this match day that you were kind of like, oh man, I got to tune into that. Obviously, Chelsea and Man U, which we'll talk about here in a second. We were talking about Joe Hart's return to Man City, which was not so great. We'll talk about that a little later. And then, for me, as I was looking at the all the games that were on this match day, one of them that really stood out to me, which happened today, was Arsenal and Leicester City, because I was really interested to see how Arsenal is going to continue to progress. And man, it was pretty exciting. I don't know if you got to tune in for that, but Mesut Ozil, man, he came to play. He put on a show.
I don't know if it was the second or third goal. I think it was, I don't remember. Ozil had that pass, that through ball.
Yeah. It was nasty. Gosh. Well, not only that, but okay. So the through ball was dope. I think that was actually the first goal. I don't know, but
and then they had a sequence later on.
Okay. The sequence was the one that was nasty. Okay, Bellerin is passing the ball straight to the edge of the box towards the center from the right hand side, and Mesut Ozil plays a dummy, and it was one of the nastiest dummies full. Yeah. So beautiful dummy.
Trust me, I love a good dummy.
I know. I think they're some of the nastiest moves, man, because it just throws an entire team off if they are tracking the ball and thinking where it's going. So beautiful dummy, gets the ball back, and with the most deft touch, puts it right in front of Aubameyang, I'm pretty sure. And woo, I'm telling you, man, they said this on the broadcast, but when Mesut Ozil's in this kind of form, he's the best player on that team because of the way he creates like this. And not only but he also puts the goals away too when he's rolling.
He's a playmaker. He's kind of like the talisman. And it's like Arsenal right now, they're clicking, they're looking good, they're enjoying their football.
Yeah. Aubameyang is finally like that guy that everyone has been expecting. Dude was on the pitch for 30 seconds and he scored. He had a brace, and I don't remember, it was like 15 minutes or something like that. Something stupid like that.
Yeah.
So
they're looking good. And now what I want to see from Arsenal is how they're going to look up against the other title contenders.
Right. Of course.
Top teams in the league. Because right now, I mean, it's like, Leicester's no slouch. I mean, I understand they were champions just a few seasons ago. But, it's like you're battling against the mid-table or the bottom half of the table, and it's just like, okay, you should be beating up on those teams because you are Arsenal at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, I did mention this on our last show that I kind of looked into the future of Arsenal's upcoming schedule, and quite frankly, there's not too many games in a row that look essentially like they're real tough. Okay, so they got Liverpool on November 3rd, all right?
That's going to be massive.
So that's going to be a huge game. But other than that game, man, I mean, it's not really looking too bad for them. So they could essentially put on a pretty good run, even if the game against Liverpool, let's say Liverpool pulls out wins that game. Even putting one down, comparatively, who they're going to be playing against, Crystal Palace. Then, of course, the Liverpool game after that. But after that, man, again, they kind of got a little bit of an easier run, so to speak. I mean, they're playing Wolves. Don't get me wrong. I know that in the Premier League, I mean, there's a lot of great teams. Wolves and Watford, these guys kind of surprising people and so forth. But Wolves and Bournemouth, let's see. Then finally they have another game that's kind of big, but this is a month in between. So this is December 2nd. They play Spurs. So that's like the next game that's going to be like really gauging what's going on. So Liverpool on November 3rd. Yeah. So Liverpool on November 3rd. And then their next, in my opinion, real big game is Arsenal and Spurs on Sunday, December 2nd. So a month in between, they get a couple games that theoretically, if they're playing like they are now, they're just going to blow these other teams out of the water. So then they'll be tested, of course. So that's, I think that it's really exciting to watch Arsenal right now. And like you said, we'll see if they can keep that rolling against the top tier clubs.
But the fact that they don't have European competition, I believe, that definitely helps them because they're able to just focus domestically.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, in that regard, again, they have kind of that easier path right now.
Yeah.
So if they could rack up the points in the next month, I mean, let's say they come away with 10, 12 points, if they go all the way with, 4 victories in a row, something like that, man, they're going to be looking good. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're probably going to at least draw 1, maybe 2, possibly drop 1 against Liverpool. But either way, the other games, they should definitely have a chance for 3 points. So, okay, so let's move forward. Let's, kind of rewind, I suppose. That was actually today's games, Arsenal and Leicester. But let's rewind to the first game, one of the bigger games, this match day. Chelsea hosting Manchester United. Stamford Bridge was an exciting venue, especially at the end. But let's go ahead and let's talk a little bit about this match. And, what did you see? What were your thoughts about this? Is this just another Manchester United, lucky comeback kind of situation? Really didn't deserve the win, come away with a draw? I mean, or do you think they deserve the win? I mean...
I hate to take credit away from Manchester United, but I feel like Chelsea... more or less gave this game away in a way. I know they ended up with a draw, so the points were split, but this felt more like Chelsea was not on their game. I know Eden Hazard was kind of MIA. And I mean, on the first goal, I mean, Chelsea just they're not doing a good job of clearing their lines.
Yeah.
And Martial is able to, get another bite of the cherry, and he's able to bury that shot. And, I guess at the end of the day, Chelsea's lucky that they got a point out of it. Able to equalize there late, but
Ross Barkley coming on with the substitution late and just happening to be at the right place, right time, and putting one away. But
that's the thing, though. Like Chelsea, I feel they just had it bad. They were kind of off, and they still split the points with Manchester United. For Manchester United, you kind of feel like they're giving it all they have, or they're trying to put their best foot forward, and it's like they get the draw, which was away. I get it against a tough opponent, so I mean they could have just wilted, but they didn't. They came back, and they probably should have got the 3 points. But the scenes there at the end, I think, go a long way to telling you what's going on exactly. I mean, I know that Mourinho didn't necessarily leave Chelsea under the best conditions.
Yeah.
And they were kind of rubbing it in on him, and, he got all upset and was basically going to, go confront whoever pissed him off. And then it was like at the end, he's telling the crowd, like, hey, I won you 3 titles, and, you need respect, and it's like, I don't know.
He's been doing that a lot this year. He's been
It
asking for
feels
respect quite a bit.
yeah, it feels like it's kind of becoming like a drama soap opera zoo
Well, I would agree
around
with
this guy.
that. I totally agree with that. But you know what? It all comes down to what happens on the pitch, right? So they win, everything's happy. They draw, fine. Obviously, if they're dropping games against teams they shouldn't be, we have a huge issue in Manchester. But I just want to say that I totally agree with you. I mean, you and I haven't talked about this game until right now. But earlier today, when I was at pickup, we were talking about this, just me and the guys and everything. And I mentioned, I think the same thing. I thought Chelsea should have had this game. The form that they've been in lately with Eden Hazard, a dude that has just been rocking people lately, and everything they had going for him. I mean, it seemed like they should have had this game. Manchester United feels like they're still struggling to make sure that they're, I don't know, I suppose stable, so to speak. They still have all the pieces. I mean, they have amazing talent on this team, but it just hasn't been consistent at the beginning of the season. And go ahead.
Let me interrupt just for a second. My point's going to be, when was the last time you heard this statement? Manchester United is going to struggle just to make top 4.
Yeah.
That's where they're at, man. And that's why I'm like, it's just a matter of when, not if, Mourinho gets sacked.
Yeah.
It's too much. His antics and everything that's going on there, that'd be fine in another club that's like not a Manchester United stature, but we're talking about Manchester United. This is arguably the most valuable club in the world.
Yeah. It's true.
Just can't have it.
Yeah, I can't have that face. You can have the face of your club when it comes to coaching be that kind of drama. I'd agree with you. So, yeah. Well, hopefully it was also interesting though, like at the end they were interviewing him and everything like that. And again, like you were saying, it's like there was like almost like people wanted to know more about that than they wanted to know about the game itself. Yeah. And it's kind of like, come on, man, like let it go, whatever. People get upset, they get pissy, they wet their little pants and stuff, but like just let it go. Let's move forward.
I mean that's the thing though. I mean people like the theater, the theatrics, sure. all that stuff. They get wrapped up into it. I mean, I don't know if you know about this past weekend, switching sports a little bit here, but in the NBA and basketball, the Lakers played the Rockets, and there was a fight that broke out towards the end of the game, and that's all everybody wants to talk about. Not about the game.
No, I didn't see that. And also, by the way, I don't believe that any sort of fighting in basketball is worth anything. It's not even entertaining. Yeah. These fools are like throwing like rabbit punches and like they're not even doing any damage, man. They're not really fighting.
Well,
come on, man.
You should see that. You should see the highlights of this melee. It was. I think actually a few punches were landed.
Oh, they were. Did anyone get really hurt? Was there any blood?
Probably not. But
man,
my point is that
I want to. You know what I want to see in a basketball fight? I want to see someone kick someone in the dick. That would be hilarious. Like they get in an argument and one big dude just goes wham, kicks the other big dude right in the balls. That would be entertaining. That would be entertaining.
My point is that as human beings we seem to gravitate towards these theatrics, this drama, which is good for TV and it's good for everybody that's not a Man U fan. But if you're a Man U fan, you're probably like, oh my gosh, can we just get rid of this guy already? Like,
yeah,
it'd be interesting to know if you polled Man U supporters how they really feel about Mourinho, because I just feel like I can't see many people having that much confidence in his skills to run this club. Like, it's just...
Well, I'll ask some guys that pick up, I mean, I know a handful of guys that follow Man U pretty closely and everything like that. I mean, that being said, it's just, regular guy's opinion, but I think that's what it's all about, Like, you want to know what the average Joe who's hanging out, following their club, excited about them and wanting to see them do well, you want to know what they think, and there's no really wrong or right when it comes to that. It's just opinion.
Yeah, no, you're correct. But the supporters are the lifeblood of the club, and I mean, you get enough of them. I mean, there's already an underlying current of players and coaches and former players at the club that just think it's probably time for Mourinho to go. And I think that it's only a matter of when and not if.
Yeah, I mean, you've been saying that since the, almost like preseason, basically. So
yeah, and I'm going to stay on that ship because I know it's going to happen this season.
Yeah, gotcha.
We're not even, almost a third, not even a third done with the season. I mean, just look how much has happened already.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Okay, so let's move forward. Okay, so, the next thing to talk about is Man City and their ridiculous dominant performance over Burnley. Poor Joe Hart and his return to Etihad. Not so good. I mean, okay. So I was looking at this, of course, and I'm sure that if you're if you're listening to All Soccer All Day, I'm sure you kind of keep up on some of this stuff. But if you don't, Man City right now is at the top of the tables, okay? And already right now, this is so stupid. Already right now, they have a plus 23 goal differential. Plus 23. They've scored 26 goals and only been scored on 3 times in 9 games.
Oh.
They've only been scored on 3 times in 9 games. You know what? Actually, come to think of it, though, and this is cool, Liverpool have only been scored on 3 times. Now, the only difference, of course, is that Man City has put 10 more goals away than Liverpool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the champions of the league are showing right now why they're the champions of the league.
No doubt.
I mean, they're just running over people.
Yeah. I mean, what a display. What a show of skill. Man City, I looked at those goals, and I mean, I can't really fault Joe Hart for a lot of them. I mean, they just beautifully place balls.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just like, man, I mean, it's the technique. It's a masterclass of how to play the game. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
I don't know if
Fernandinho's strike was beautifully placed. And you know what? Hey, Riyad Mahrez showing up. That left leg, getting that curler. Beautiful goal. I mean, it was beautiful. So I'm there with you, man. It's not only the fact that they are scoring, but the manner of which they're scoring is absolutely beautiful.
And this is what I say. The margins for error is so thin. Like, I'm telling you, man, if any of the other contenders, Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, I mean, it's like, if they slip up, Man City's going to be gone.
Oh, yeah.
Leave the dust. Like,
they're going to do what they did last year.
Yes. And I got to say, I have never been the biggest Pep Guardiola fan, but the man is starting to make me a believer.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I kind of have to agree with you on that. But not only that, too, and we'll come right back to that, but this also goes to show, yet again, the depth and ridiculous talent on Man City. And what a couple bucks where, like, you got some owners that are willing to put in some cash. Well, here you go,
Yep. No, it's just... I realize the argument of, like, okay, he's managed super clubs, because it's what?
That's very true.
Bayern Munich, Barcelona.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, you can't just throw a bunch of money and get a bunch of players and think it's going to be a cohesive unit.
Yeah, so take, for instance, Manchester United.
Yes, exactly.
But, and being their direct rivals, it makes it so much sweeter for Man City. I mean, it's just City taking over Manchester. That's what's going down. And the more they perform like this, see, here's the mess up thing. It's like a lot of times when you look at teams like this that are just like hammering people, I could think to myself, well, you know what? If there's one bad injury, who knows? Maybe it changes the game just a little bit and opens the door for someone else. With Man City, I'm just like, yeah, if they get an injury, no one cares. They'll just put the next guy in that's just going to own everyone the same way that the guy in front of him was. Yep. So, I mean, City's looking extremely strong. It would seem right now that, again, they're favorites to take the Premier League. So, we'll see how it goes. Their closest competition right now is Liverpool. And Liverpool played against Huddersfield this last weekend. And they came away with a 1-0 victory, 3 points away. Mohamed Salah breaks his drought, or whatever you want to call it, with a pretty straightforward tap in. I mean, it wasn't a tap in per se, but it's not like he did a whole bunch of crazy creation and, shot some crazy curling goal. It was a nice through ball by Shaqiri, and Salah had this technique to put it across the face of goal with his, weaker leg, so to speak, and hit the post and rolled it in. So Liverpool comes away with those points. But, I mean, how do you feel as a Liverpool supporter about that win? Are you happy with that, just the way they won? Are you wanting to see way more? I mean, one thing that we had talked about on the last show was that Shaqiri got his start. We also saw Adam Lallana returning to the pitch, which was pretty interesting that he gets that start as well. Dan Lovren getting his center back position and bumping Joe Gomez out to the right back. I mean, what are your thoughts about how they were lining up? Were you happy to see these guys getting some minutes? What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, interesting lineup choices. I mean, we knew there'd be some rotation. Good to see Shaqiri out there. Same thing with Lovren, Sturridge. Firmino came on. The first word that comes to mind with this match is underwhelming.
Yeah.
Yes, Liverpool got 3 points, and it's hard not to be content with that. But yeah, it's like when you see what Manchester City does to Burnley, and then you see what that game was very much in the balance.
You mean the Liverpool? Yeah.
Yeah, Liverpool. And it's just like, man, a draw there is deadly. Like, I mean, yes, the minimum was the victory, was the 3 points. But we needed to show some better class. We needed to just
if you're Liverpool, if you're Liverpool, you want to put 3 goals away. That would be like a confident. You come away with the 3 points. Not only that, but you see the quality that's going on and the depth of the squad. I would totally agree with you against Huddersfield.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we're seeing how Klopp what he has to do to get this team kind of clicking again. The offense that we saw last year obviously is not the same. It's not there. They're not clicking the same. Whatever understanding they had last year with each other is just kind of off right now. And they're really looking to get that form back, because if they don't, November 3rd, they're playing Arsenal. And Arsenal's clicking right now. And you can't be making bad mistakes, and you can't give away chances if you're really anyone playing against Arsenal right now, because Arsenal is going to put some goals away. So, they have a week. They have Cardiff this week. So Saturday, October 27th, they're playing Cardiff. They're hosting Cardiff. It's at Anfield. So, we need to see from them. If you're a Liverpool supporter, you want to see them come out and be dominant. But I don't know. How do you feel about it? What does your gut say about that? You think it's going to go that way? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know what I feel. I just know what it should be, and that Liverpool should straight up murk Cardiff City. I'm sorry. I mean, that's being blunt. I mean, you're at home at Anfield. You are head and shoulders a better side than Cardiff. Yeah, it should be. Like, honestly, we should be doing to Cardiff what Man City did to Burnley.
Correct.
I'd be satisfied with a 5-0 scoreline at Anfield. Some people say that's asking too much. No, that's not asking enough. Because if Liverpool doesn't step their game up, then they're not going to beat Man City for the title.
No, there's no way.
No.
So that's definitely something to keep an eye on if you're a Liverpool supporter. Honestly, it's kind of a big deal because obviously you get to see if Liverpool can possibly pull ahead to the lead because Man City has a tough game of their own. They are visiting against Spurs. So, big game of the week, Monday, October 29th, City traveling to Wembley. And so that's going to be a big game. And that could definitely put the Man City's top spot in the league in jeopardy if for some reason they don't show up. But, I mean, what do you think? Spurs, Man City, do you think City's just going to come out and handle business again? Do you think they come away with a closer victory? What do you think about that game?
Yeah, I could see Man City beating the brakes off Tottenham. I really could because they're in form. They've got momentum. Tottenham's slumping a little bit. Tottenham barely got by. Who was it that they beat 1-0? Was that Brighton?
No, it was West Ham.
Yeah. West Ham. Yeah. I mean, dude. I understand it's a London derby. It's North and East, but.
It's West Ham.
Tottenham, you're better than West Ham. Granted, you get the victory. I get it. You get 3 points, just like Liverpool.
Yeah.
But just like we said about Liverpool, we got to say with Tottenham, it's like if you want to be a title contender, you've got to put sides like that away, like more convincingly.
Yeah. If you don't, then you are definitely going to just not be able to contend. In the end.
Yeah.
Because Man City is putting teams away 5-0. That's the thing. Like, if they weren't doing it either, then I guess it'd be fine. You guys are all in a close contention. But, man, if someone has plus 10 goal differential on the second place, dude, damn, it's just dirty.
Insane. Yeah, it really is. And that's what I'm saying is that Man City's looking at the rest of the league like, okay, great. You guys are winning your games, but so are we, and you're not winning them like us.
Nope. They can strut right now for sure.
They're styling. They're styling on fools, like you say.
So, definitely. So, big games of this week. If we're talking about the top teams in the league, Liverpool again hosting Cardiff. We'll see what happens there. Other teams at the top right now, Chelsea is going to be playing Burnley. That should be, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that.
Poor Burnley.
It's just, this run for Burnley is just, it's a bummer, man. So, they're playing at Turf Moor and
Joe Hart's going to want to retire.
Dude, if Chelsea, I'm like, look, Chelsea's going to come out and they're going to be pissed off that they took a draw at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to come down to. They're going to be like, you know what? You guys thought you were tight? No. So I'm just feeling like really bad for Joe Hart for sure, like you were saying, but I think Chelsea's really just going to put a beating on Burnley.
You would think. No doubt.
We'll see. So, again, looking at near the top of the tables, Crystal Palace hosting Arsenal. That's our next game that, again, looks like, I think Palace is in. Yeah. I think
North and South London.
Yep. I think that Palace is in for a hard day. A hard day on the job.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. The way that Arsenal is in form. Crystal Palace, kind of sputtering a little bit as well. I favor Arsenal in that match.
Absolutely. So this one is interesting, though. And again, it's just because we don't know where the hell Manchester United stands. But Manchester United hosting Everton. And it's like, it becomes kind of an interesting game. Everton is coming off a 2-0 victory. Granted, it's not against the toughest competition in the league, but still, they've been playing with a little bit more confidence. Richarlison is coming back, and he's helping make plays. And we're playing against, Everton's playing against the Manchester United team that, as you said before, there's just drama kind of surrounding the front office, so to speak, and the coaching staff. But we're in Old Trafford. I mean, like, you would think that Manchester United should definitely come away with 3 points.
Yeah, no doubt.
How do you? Do you think that's going to happen?
Yeah, no, it should happen. Okay. I want to say it's going to happen. See, there's tremendous pressure at Manchester United, and Mourinho's only put more pressure on himself with everything that's happened.
Yeah,
and it makes I've got to believe that every match feels like a pressure cooker for Manchester United, because it's like everything is just being like they're under the microscope. I mean, yeah, if they don't get a victory, and I believe in some way a convincing victory against Everton at home, it's just more whispers, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and just to give you an idea, when we're talking about form right now, Everton's on a 3-game win streak. And Man U right now, they lost to West Ham, embarrassingly. They barely got away with 3 points against Newcastle, which frankly they shouldn't have. And then again, they kind of give up their lead. I mean, see, that's the thing. It's like I can't necessarily take away from Manchester United how they performed against Chelsea. I mean, they had a rough first half, but when they came out in the second half, they looked like a different team. And they were playing much better. Martial, again, with that first goal, like you said, Chelsea's very much at fault with that for not clearing their lines well. The second goal was just a beautiful strike from Martial, though. I mean, it was inch perfect for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's hard to say, just the fact that Everton's coming off that 3-game win streak, though, they've got some confidence right now. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? I'm going to call it 2-1 Manchester. 2-1 Manchester.
Yeah, I would agree with that scoreline.
Yeah.
You got to believe that Man U is going to win at home against Everton. Like, Everton's on a good form, but it's Manchester United.
Yeah, man.
Playing at Old Trafford. Like, I mean, what are we talking about here?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's crazy that we're even talking about it like it's a thing.
Like it's in doubt, you know?
Agreed. Well, very good. Just kind of to recap over here with the tables with the Premier League. At the top of the tables right now, Manchester City. They have yet to lose this season. They have 7 victories, 2 draws, 23 points, plus 23 goal differential. Get the hell out of here. You are just ridiculous. Totally stupid. In second place, Liverpool right now, again, they have the same record as Man City, 7 wins, 2 draws, no losses. However, of course, like we were saying, only plus 13. I say only plus 13 like it's bad. I mean, like, that's still, pretty good. They've only been scored on 3 times. But with Man City, with that plus 23, it's just ridiculous. Third place, Chelsea. They dropped a spot because they had a draw this week against Manchester United. So 6 victories, 3 draws, dropping to 21 points. And they are ahead of Arsenal by goal differential by just 2 goals. So Chelsea plus 13, Arsenal plus 11. Arsenal right now, 7 wins, 2 losses. Same with Hotspur, 7 wins, 2 losses. So close up there at the top of the tables, middle of the table right now is, it's a battle. And Manchester United's on the low end of that right now. They're in 10th place right now. They only have 14 points. They're 9 points out of contention with the top spot.
-1 goal differential.
Yeah, man. It's the statistics tell a story of dysfunction for Manchester United for sure.
Yeah, it's up and down.
So anyway, definitely some good games coming up this week. Please tune in. and check out Matchday 10. So
I
that's going
have
to be a
to
lot of
say, before we wrap up with the Premier League,
fun. Mm-hmm.
I chose Cardiff and Huddersfield to go down, right?
So far, yes.
I believe so, and I haven't predicted on my third. I know
You did
Newcastle's all the
say
way down.
that West Ham was in the running.
Yeah, I did say West Ham was on the running. Newcastle's all the way down there at the bottom with 2
yeah,
points.
I know, 2 points. That's so brutal. So brutal.
Yeah. Huddersfield and Newcastle are the only two sides in the Premier League that have yet to taste 3-point victory. But what I have to say is I'm starting to feel some sadness already, because I feel like my beloved Craven Cottage might in the Premier League next season, because Fulham is on a horrible slide.
Yeah, they are.
They just got, well, I shouldn't say shellacked, but I mean, they got thoroughly beat by Cardiff.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I mean, that was the battle for 17th place. So.
Yeah, exactly. And Fulham did not show up. So I don't know. I've got right now. It's Newcastle, West Ham, and Fulham for that third spot, and I don't know. I mean, Newcastle's really, really, really trying hard for that spot, and Fulham feels like they want it, one of the spots too. Yeah, it's no. And it pains me because I just love it.
You love Craven's Cottage. Yes, we all know. Okay, moving forward. So let's go ahead and let's kick into the MLS. Let's start talking a little bit about what's going on there. This upcoming week is Decision Day.
Yeah.
Yes, Decision Day this week. I mean, it all comes down to this. For the last 2 spots available in the 2018 MLS season. Yeah, man. We got, let's talk about the East first. Talking about the East right now. Well, okay, wait, hold on. First of all, you know what? I got to tip my cap to DC United. These boys, it is truly impressive. The run they've made, securing their playoff spot, their playoff berth, and not only that, but you know what? They're actually theoretically they're threatening. There are scenarios where they could end up in 3rd place.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what?
Right? Exactly. No, I mean, I think I had mentioned this to you. I mean, Wayne Rooney has come in.
Yeah.
With Wayne Rooney and the
Lucha Acosta.
Lucha Acosta. But I mean, the opening of Audi Field, all these things have come together and galvanized this club. Because, like I said, they've had a hard run for many seasons now, and it's good to see DC United, one of the charter clubs, first champions of the league. Back in the playoffs and looking good. Like everything's coming up aces for DC United at the moment, and it's good to see. And in
a way, I have to say this:
looking good.
If they're looking, look, they're in position right now. Like, let's say that the playoffs started today, they would be traveling to Philadelphia. That would be their initial game, and that's a hard game. I mean, Philadelphia is also playing well. They did drop their last game against the Red Bulls, but it's against the Red Bulls. I mean, Red Bulls are 2nd place, challenging for the Supporters' Shield. So, I mean, if they were looking at DC United, my concern, if I'm a DC United fan, is I don't want the DC United to peak too early, right? So they've been on this huge run. They've been killing it for so long. I mean, look, no one can sustain that forever, right? I mean, that's just how it is. It's impossible to sustain that kind of run for an extended amount of time. I should say, they've already done it an extended amount of time. So just in that alone, that's why it's so impressive. But you just don't want DC United again, like I said, peaking too early and then kind of running on fumes the last couple games of the season, and then they're knocked out because they just finally run out of gas. But Wayne Rooney, Lucho Acosta, these guys are playing beautiful football right now, and they're fighting, man. Like you said, opening at Audi Field, these guys are performing in front of the home crowd. They're getting the goals. They're getting the victories. It's extremely exciting. So where do you think DC ends up? Let me go ahead and let's just take a look really quickly and make sure that we get this correct with who they are going to end up playing. Oh, yes, that's right. They're playing against Chicago. In Chicago. But it's Chicago. It's basically a gimme if DC United are playing in any kind of form, which they are. What do you think? You think they're going to come away with this victory?
I want to say they will. I mean, Chicago's going to be playing for pride. They're going to be at home. It's the last match of the season. So it's not necessarily going to be a walk.
I should try to go to that game. I'm going to see it. I'm going to see if I can go to that game.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to see Wayne Rooney and Lucho Acosta in person. I'm going to try to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I mean, I would definitely see them getting the 3 points there. And yeah, I mean, like you said, scenarios could play out where I guess possibly they could get the third spot because depending on tiebreakers, work out, which is crazy to me because they would end up hosting a knockout match,
which is nuts. Yeah.
So it's, but let's say like you said, if they do, let's say in fifth spot, like if everything holds true, I guess they go to Philadelphia, and I mean, bro, if you're Philadelphia, you don't want to see DC United.
No way, man. No, honestly, no one wants to see DC United right now.
No.
The only teams I feel, I mean, look, basically it comes down to this, right? It's the confidence of your club playing against another really confident club. So DC United is riding high. They're extremely confident. They're playing with just absolute fire and fervor all the way through games and coming away with victories. There's only a handful of teams that are of that confidence right now. So Atlanta, the Red Bulls.
I mean, Atlanta and the New York Red Bulls, they're studs.
Right.
I feel like New York Red Bulls are the most complete team, I feel like, at the moment in the league.
I would agree with you.
There's something going on there where I just feel like I don't know what it is.
It's another thing too that's really great for the New York Red Bulls because there's so much attention going to Atlanta, going to the Galaxy right now, going to DC United. Red Bulls again are kind of flying under that little radar, even though they have 68 points. These dudes are nasty, man.
They're going to battle with Atlanta here on the last day of the season for the Supporter Shield. And yeah, I mean, I don't think they fear anybody.
Nope.
Going to the blue side of New York, though, I feel like NYCFC, they are sliding into the playoffs.
And their last game is against Philadelphia.
Well,
so
there you go. They're dropping these games, and it's bad for momentum going into the playoffs. You can't just be losing, and the playoffs come, and you're just going to switch your mentality and like, okay, now it's for real. We're going to win these games. It's not good momentum to have.
No, you're absolutely right. And just so you know, we're talking about I'm sorry, say that again.
Same thing for Columbus Crew.
Yeah, absolutely. The slide that Columbus is on right now is also absolutely devastating for them. Orlando City coming away with a win, 2-1. It's their first win, and I don't even know how long. I think you had that. But at this point in time, it's messed up because you just can't even remember the last time you saw Orlando City with a W. But look, here's the thing. Things are in favor right now for the New York Red Bulls to come away with the Supporter Shield, in my opinion, because they're playing against Orlando City. I believe they're hosting Orlando City.
They're hosting Orlando City, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, that's
Atlanta's
rough.
got to go on the road against Toronto.
And look, Toronto's not playing well this year either. Okay, they've had a really hard year, but I mean, they're not Orlando.
No.
So
nobody's Orlando. Not even San Jose, Colorado. Or well, I mean, okay. When I say that, I mean I understand that San Jose
only has 4 wins. Let's keep that in mind.
Okay. I apologize. I apologize to everybody in Orlando and Colorado. I mean, San Jose's at the bottom with 4 wins. They're getting the wooden spoon for sure.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, Orlando City's shipped 73 goals, Colorado 62, and San Jose 69. And San Jose, okay, I take it back. Orlando City's not as bad.
No, they're not. San Jose is whack, dude.
They are bogus whack.
They are bogus whack. And you know what? Not only are they bogus whack, but I have to say, like, it's a little, like, it is definitely sad to see the soon-to-be #1 scoring goal scorer of all time in Chris Wondolowski playing on the 4-win San Jose Earthquakes. Like, dang, can we get him on loan to Atlanta for like 1 season? Like, let this dude go out in some like small amount of glory, I guess, you know?
Oh my gosh. I really hope the way of the samurai works out for them, because they need something. That's pitiful. I don't even know. I mean, I don't want to speak too soon, but I don't think the Galaxy season last season was as bad as San Jose's this season. I mean, we got the wooden spoon last season. We were the worst team in the league. But this is like, I don't know. Is this record breaking? I mean,
they got a wooden shovel right now. Okay. They're like getting to work right now. They are digging ditches. Okay. So
this is quickly becoming a favorite segment on this show, is throwing shade at San Jose.
I mean, basically my favorite thing to do. But anyway, okay. So look. Let's get back on track a little bit here, okay? So, going back to this last week's games, we can just touch on a couple of them. Some of the top teams. Atlanta handling Chicago 2-1. Nothing really too exciting about that. DC, again, man, coming away with that win, 3-1. And you were talking about this before, the NYCFC slide they are going through right now. They are on a bad run. Let's talk a little bit more about that. What do you got on that?
Well, I mean, New York City FC is just not looking like themselves. Like, the team that we saw earlier on in the season is not existent. Like, I mean, David Villa got a goal here late on, but I just don't see, like, they're sleepwalking or something. Like, I feel like they just decided to put it in cruise control a few weeks or months ago, and we're just like, yeah, we good.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a recipe to win a championship.
No. So I'm in agreement with you that, again, they are playing against the Philadelphia Union. They're at least hosting. But you know what? Right now, it's like, does that even mean a whole lot right now? I mean, I think that, again, NYCFC, as you were kind of saying, is playing quite underwhelmingly. And so, I mean, them hosting...
New York City FC is not beating the likes of the Red Bulls or Atlanta right now. And that's the thing. They're in one of those spots to host a knockout game right now, but I could see them losing it.
Well, I mean, Philadelphia is, since they're playing them directly, they're playing them for third place, essentially. I mean, if Philly comes away with 3 points, then they take that third spot. As we were saying before, also, DC United are in a possibility of jumping up to third place. So, I mean, it's, let's see here. How theoretically, actually... is that even possible? Let's think about that for a minute, because NYFC is playing Philly. So if Philly and NYCFC, let's say they draw, that puts NYCFC at 54 points. DC United come away with 53 and 15 wins. If Philly wins, then they'll have 16 wins. They'll be up at the third spot. See, so actually, I don't know. I think the highest DC can go is maybe fourth.
Probably.
But still, I mean, that's hosting a game. And that's bumping, that's switch, kind of turning the tide on this and having...
Something's going to switch around,
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so, our apologies. DC can't get up to third place, so it seems. I'm pretty sure here, now looking at it. But, basically NYCFC, I could easily see them, as you said, dropping down to fourth quite easily. So...
Yeah.
And, with DC United, with the possibility of them taking over that spot, I don't know.
I think you're looking at the New York City FC game and with Philly, and these two teams are looking like this is the game to not host DC United.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true.
Basically, the winner will avoid.
Correct.
DC United.
Yeah, I mean, DC's on an incredible run right now, so we're going to see how long that continues, if it takes them through deep into the playoffs, if they possibly can contend in the East with the likes of Atlanta and, the Red Bulls. I mean, I would feel that Atlanta and the Red Bulls are clearly the easy top two favorites to come into the conference finals leading into the MLS Cup. But
let me correct myself as I'm just looking at the table here. I mean, it's possible you could still win that match and host DC United, because if DC United was to lose and Columbus was to win, then they would leapfrog DC United. DC United would drop down to 6th.
But I mean, if DC ends up losing, then is that the start of their kind of who knows kind of thing? Or
I mean, it's not okay. It's the last game of the season. None of these playoff teams want to go out on the wrong foot.
Right.
This momentum you're carrying over from week to week. You don't want to. Now, granted, the top two teams in each conference are getting buys, so they're going to be off. But yeah, you don't want to lose the last match of your season. Now, obviously, for NYCFC and Philly, they're both in the playoffs. Unless they go away with a draw, I mean, there's going to be someone not satisfied with the way they're ending their season and going into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Columbus, as we were talking about before, is that they're holding on to that 6th spot. They need to win. They're fighting off Montreal, who it looks like Columbus is going to host Minnesota United.
Mm-hmm.
So that's F for Columbus. And Montreal has to go to New England,
right?
Which New England. So I mean, both these teams, Montreal could definitely beat New England in New England, and Columbus should beat Minnesota United at home. So it'll be interesting to see at the end of the day what happens there. But
yeah, I mean, honestly, throwing Columbus into the mix makes it quite interesting, because theoretically, if they win, they would be bumping themselves up to 51 points, and if Philly and DC somehow lose, all of a sudden they're leapfrogging and bumping themselves up into 4th place. So I mean, there can be all kinds of interesting scenarios, basically 3rd through 6th. I mean, the top two spots, Atlanta and Red Bulls, that's secure, that's done. But shuffling up the last 4.
You see the point gap between the top two and the third?
Yeah, it's stupid. It's 15 points. Red Bulls, 68 points. NYCFC, the 3rd place team, 53. Good. I mean, that's why I was saying Atlanta and Red Bulls clearly look like the favorites to come out of the East. That looks like it's going to be a battle in Atlanta to see who goes and represents the East in the MLS Cup.
The West is a lot tighter.
Absolutely. And let's get into the West a little bit here. So looking at the West right now, Sporting KC took away that top spot. They are in first right now, 59 points. FC Dallas on a little bit of a slide. And I was telling you...
I told you this. You're bringing it up.
Yeah, I was telling you this, I don't know, maybe a month and a half ago, that this is what ends up starting to happen for Dallas. Near the end of the season, they just start disappearing. I don't know.
Yeah, no, FC Dallas to me looks like NYCFC, if not worse.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about FC Dallas. This mentality, they just don't.
They don't finish strong.
yes, they can't finish strong. They don't. It's just like they look good. It's almost like they're over there like, yeah, we could play the part of a good-looking soccer team, but don't expect it to last.
Right.
It's not something that we're going to maintain over here because it's like they're not, just like NYCFC. They're not going into the playoffs strong.
No,
they're carrying all kinds of bad mo, and I mean, dude, Sporting Kansas City is one of your rivals, and they just whooped you 3-0 at home.
Oh, dude, they tore apart FC Dallas, and like literally ripping first place away from them. They're like, yeah, you guys don't deserve to be here. Thanks. And I mean, that's what I'm saying. FC Dallas is on that slide. I would agree with you. I think it's a pretty good analogy, and with comparing them to NYCFC and the kind of slide they're on. So FC Dallas is now in danger of getting bumped all the way down. I mean, theoretically, it is possible that Portland could get all the way up to... I'm pretty sure Portland could get up to third.
Well, here's the thing. FC Dallas, even with all that said, could still win the West, which is crazy to me to think that the number one seed could be FC Dallas, and they look nothing of the part.
Yeah.
Well, the scheduling, MLS scheduling gods gave FC Dallas a break because they're going to go to Colorado to finish their season, where this might be the matchup. Well, I don't know if it's the matchup of the week, but just looking at it really quickly, I mean, Sporting is hosting LAFC, which is...
Hey, that's for the... I mean, essentially, that's for the top spot, too.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
I mean,
LAFC, by the way, just to throw this out there, LAFC is in second place in the West right now with 57 points. So
exactly, and we have to say, like I mentioned last episode, LAFC does have the record for the best season for an expansion
team. Yeah, I mean, I am totally not surprised. 16 wins, only 8 losses, 9 draws. Plus 17 goal differential. They've scored 67 goals this season, it looks like. So I mean, they're cruising.
No joke.
So,
no joke.
And oh yeah, by the way, I just want to point this out since we're, I'm in the business of currently throwing shade at low-ranked clubs. FC Dallas, as you said, playing Colorado. Colorado has a negative 28 goal differential.
That's worse in the West. It's
worse in the West. The only team that's worse as far as goal differential goes is Orlando with negative 30. Which is, at that point in time, negative 28, negative 30, I mean, it's not exactly like you're... Not a big separation there. So, FC Dallas, theoretically, with their standings, with, the way that they should be playing, should come away with a victory, which puts LAFC and Sporting Kansas City on the hot seat. Whoever comes away with the victory there, essentially they could take the West.
Well, let's put this. There's 3 teams and 2 spots. Like, one of Sporting Kansas City, LAFC, and FC Dallas is not going to get the bye.
Correct.
They're going to have to host a knockout game. Right now, as it sits, FC Dallas would be hosting Real Salt Lake. But yeah, it could go many different ways there. And, I mean, yeah.
This is why they call it the decision day. Okay? Exactly. All these things are going to be decided. So, let's go ahead. Let's move into some of this other stuff. Seattle, Portland, these guys up in the Northwest, they're doing their thing. So that's going to be pretty interesting there to see how they wrap up the season. Let's see who they got on the schedule, Seattle and Portland this week. Checking that out right now.
Vancouver's hosting Portland.
Okay.
And
Seattle's hosting San Jose.
Oh gosh.
Wando coming in, playing spoiler, fool, playing spoiler.
Oh gosh.
Gonna put a hat
Okay.
trick away, fool. Gonna put.
You never know, man. You never know. Wonky things happen in the
Yeah,
MLS.
San Jose traveling to Seattle. That should, Seattle should win that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. No, they should murk
Yeah.
San Jose. But yeah, you never know what's going to happen there. It's interesting because it's setting up to possibly be a knockout playoff
Ooh.
Cascadia rivalry between Seattle and Portland. I mean, can you
Yeah.
imagine? That's
Yeah.
next level.
And you know what?
Um,
If it went the other way, it looks like probably there's a possibility of Portland hosting that if for some reason Seattle loses to San Jose. Not going to happen. There's no possible way. But it is, it's something that in some crazy alternate universe might happen. But really, the big story, of course, in the West, as we all should be aware of if you follow MLS at all, is the Los Angeles Galaxy and holding the destiny of their playoff hopes in their hands, hosting the Houston Dynamo for this last game of their season to get into the playoffs. Zlatan and the Galaxy performed this last weekend against Minnesota. They should have won this game, as we spoke about in the last episode. They did win this game. A couple beautiful goals. One, I have to just point out, Roman Alessandrini with that beautiful volley. Perfect pass from Zlatan. The ball drops right in front of him. He takes it first time out of the air, drives it home. A beautiful goal. So if you haven't seen that yet, go ahead and peep that because it's pretty good stuff. But as we were saying, though, Galaxy hosting Houston, they should get this win, right?
yeah, everything points to the Galaxy. I mean, they're at home. Houston's not that good. They've faded over the season. I mean, but nothing's a gimme with this Galaxy team.
I know, man. It's just like you just don't know. You don't know.
Siani better be nowhere near the stadium, okay? Like, please tell me someone sent him to France already.
Oh man, that's messed up.
Please tell me that.
No, look, he's not getting any more minutes. Okay, he can't. So the Galaxy, though, as you said, they are holding their the fate of their season in their hands. Zlatan. I mean, look, everyone knows this by now. These are the games that Zlatan lives for. He loves this kind of scenario. It's the big game, and he's gonna be the guy that wants to score the big goal, right? And playing against a squad like Houston, which, as you said, they've just taken a slide. They have some talent. It's not like Houston is the worst team in the league, but they're also definitely not the highest caliber in the league either. So yeah, I'd say they're in the bottom third of the league. So the Galaxy, with the talent they have and what they should be doing, if for some reason they can hold up this defensive posture that they've had for the last few weeks, which to my knowledge, I don't think they've given up too many goals in the last few weeks. So this defense, if they're holding up at all, they've been saying this all year about the Galaxy. Eventually they're going to score. It's not like if they're going to score, it's like when they're going to score. So Zlatan, Roman Alessandrini, these guys they're definitely hunting for the goal. So we'll see how that turns out. Oh, and by the way, Gio, I don't know. He's just like MIA, man. This dude's missing in action.
Does anybody know where he's at? What?
I don't know, man.
Can we?
Can we put out APB? Like someone needs to find Giovanni Dos Santos, man. Look, you know what? I have to tell you this though. Watching this game, I honestly, man, I don't think Jonathan Dos Santos played very well in this last game. It just touches were heavy. He made a couple key wins in the midfield to maintain possession or be first to the ball to gain possession. So there's a couple good plays, but man, yeah, I overall, when I was watching that game, in the first half, the Galaxy looked slow on the ball. Like it looked like they were taking too many touches, or their decision making, their foresight of what they needed to do with the ball before the ball got to them was not where it needed to be. Second half, different. To me, they came out in the second half and they were much faster on the ball, much more aggressive. But man, Jonathan Dos Santos, to me, not living up to the hype. Giovanni Dos Santos, obviously, this guy's just we don't even know where he is. And so, I don't know. Kind of a interesting thing to think about what's going to be happening upcoming. But I guess right now it's all about whether or not they can get this victory against Houston, get into that last spot, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like... I don't even know what to say. Like, I mean, there's an article here from goal.com, October 1st, 2018, so it wasn't too long ago. What happened to Giovanni Dos Santos? Question mark. Why former Barcelona and Spurs winger never became a superstar. Hey, man, I don't need you to be a superstar. I just need you to be on the field, and you need to be, like, contributing. Can you?
Yeah, right.
Can you do that? Like...
I mean, Emma Boateng right now is getting the start over him, basically. I mean, look, Emma Boateng has some speed, but honestly, his touch looked a little bit heavy, and his foresight in the game, Zlatan basically has given this dude the business all game because he feels like Boateng's losing possession too much. Of course, that's in the heat of the game. I'm not saying it's like any off-field stuff, but go ahead.
Let's be honest. If Zlatan Ibrahimovic is not on this team, this team's nowhere near even sniffing the playoffs.
Yeah, of course.
He's been the catalyst. I mean, the man comes in, he's second on the goal charts. I mean, if there wasn't a man named Joseph Martinez around, he would be the Golden Boot winner he's up there with Bradley Wright Phillips. It's just like,
it's stupid.
Lion, and it's yeah, man. I mean, the Galaxy just need to kind of be doing what they've done these last few games. The defense has gotten a lot better. Gosh, I mean, we are miles away from where we were just a few months ago, and yeah, Dominic Kinnear seems to have this team going in the right direction. I trust in him to be able to put out. I mean, what's interesting about this is that he's playing in a Houston side that he might, he has ties to. I mean, he was with San Jose before this, but I mean, he was obviously had some ties with Houston in the past. AJ De La Garza is coming home in this match. Yeah. Beasley's there. I mean, Houston's not gonna just roll over and give us.
No, definitely not.
But yeah, man, you've gotta think that the Galaxy are gonna get it done, and by hook or by crook, we're gonna get in the playoffs. When I think I said on this show a few weeks ago, or maybe it was months ago, where I thought the Galaxy were done. They weren't gonna make the playoffs, and like I said, that is in part because the defense is trying to keep people out of the net and scoring 5 goals a game or allowing 5 goals a game. That was a good start. So they cut that out, and Ibra's been Ibra.
Look, the dude has 22 goals and 10 assists.
Yeah.
In 26 games. That's stupid numbers.
His goal average ratio is like 92, 93 minutes.
Yeah.
So I mean, this guy, he's pretty much almost averaging a goal a game.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous.
Look, anytime you have someone that is playing in that form, you got a chance. Because it's like I don't know, man. It's just like a 1 goal advantage, like 1 goal handicap, basically starting the game almost.
Yeah.
Like the dude's going to put a goal away pretty much every game, almost every game. So, with that being said, they're playing at home and, momentum is with them right now. And so, hey, I think that, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say this is essentially a playoff game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our playoffs are starting this weekend against Houston. We have to win to advance. RSL is the odd team out this week. They're the only team in the league that's done.
Yep.
So all they can do is wait and see if Houston can knock us off so they keep their playoff spot.
Just gotta wait and watch, man. Wait and watch. By the way, if the Galaxy draw, they still are not in.
Exactly.
Okay? So RSL can maintain their position if Houston gets a draw with the Galaxy, or if for some reason Houston beats the Galaxy. The Galaxy have to win to get that 6th spot.
Exactly. And there's scenarios that could play out where, yes, we could see LAFC host the Galaxy in a first El Tráfico playoff meeting.
Dude, I really hope that happens. I'm not joking, man. I really hope that happens. If that happens, what a better way to finish the season than that rivalry between those two.
You don't even know, man. The papers here in Los Angeles are already talking about this rivalry being the best rivalry in the city.
I don't doubt it, man.
It's crazy, man. I can't imagine what an El Tráfico Derby Clásico would look like for the playoffs, dude. You know, winner go home. Winner advance, loser go home, and oh man, I'm just like,
I really hope that happens. If that does happen, I might try to come out there to go to that game. Dude, you know that'd be tight.
That would be
tight.
Man.
We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening moving forward. But just to kind of, do you have anything else you want to go over as far as the MLS comes up? Basically, just to kind of recap that, Columbus and Montreal fighting out that 6th spot over there in the East. Real Salt Lake waiting and watching to see if the Galaxy can either, take over that 6th spot, or if Real Salt Lake maintains. What else you got?
Just looking at some of the stats here for this year. As you guys know, Joseph Martinez is sitting at 30 goals. He's obviously, unless he has an insane last game, not going to come anywhere near, I think I said 35.
Yeah, you said 30. I think I said 32 or something. Yeah, I don't remember.
So he could still hit that, but it's insane. He's got 30 goals. Ibra's with 22, Bradley Wright Phillips with 20. Obviously Joseph's got the golden boot. I don't. Well,
you never know. Zlatan might score 8.
Okay, we're serious, guys. We're a serious show.
True.
It's interesting because they break down even the penalty goals here. Joseph Martinez, I guess, had 7 penalty goals this season, where Zlatan's only had 4. But big respect to Bradley Wright Phillips. He's scored 20 no penalty goals. So
BWP is. I have to be honest. Really, he's one of my favorite strikers in the league. The dude has amazing touch, and I don't know, man. He's smooth, man. He puts goals away that are very technically difficult, and he does them, and he looks classy while he does it. It just looks smooth. So
exactly,
extremely entertaining to watch for sure. But you know what? These 3 up at the top, as you were saying, Joseph Martinez, Zlatan, and BWP. Hey, man, these are 3 players that I would take on my team any day of the week. And luckily we have one with Zlatan. But
yeah. And looking at the assists, Luciano Acosta, as is any surprise, has 15 helpers this season. He's number 1 with Julian Gressel behind him at 12. Nicholas Ladero and a whole host of guys are tied with 11. That doesn't surprise me. And then, just looking at some of the other stats here, it's interesting. Joseph Martinez is the highest in the league on big chance miss. So, but I guess that,
when you're scoring that many goals and you have that many opportunities to not make a goal, but you still score 30.
If he was more clinical, how many goals would he have? It's kind of insane. So,
this is a season that if you want to be a striker that puts yourself in the right position to score a goal, that's what Joseph Martinez does. I mean, look, yeah, of course, the guy's got speed, the guy's got technique. But overall, man, if I, just thinking back, I'll have to go back and like actually watch all of his goals because I think that'd be pretty cool. But thinking back, to me, the things that stand out the most is that he just happens to be standing in the right spot. And he's anticipating where the ball is going to be. And he's just ghosting in there sneaky like. People don't know where he is. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, he's standing on the back post, heading the ball in from 2 feet out. So it's just nasty poaching. So
yeah, his positioning is right. It's spot on.
Absolutely. I think again, just to kind of cap that point, to me, Zlatan and Bradley Wright Phillips, their goals have taken a lot more technical skill, so to speak, as opposed to their positioning, right? Where Joseph Martinez, to me, is just in the right spot, and he's got an easy goal because he's in the right spot. Again, not to say that he didn't have some great goals this season that were technically proficient, but overall, I would say that he's just more of that positional player, whereas Zlatan and Bradley Wright Phillips, they produce these goals that are just highlight reel goals. I mean, Zlatan's 500th goal, it was like a spinning hook kick karate, it was ridiculous. And no one else, no one else scores that goal in the MLS. 0 people. It doesn't matter how cool you are. You're not scoring that.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're totally right.
I mean, with that in mind, again, like I said before, Joseph Martinez just absolutely clinical when it comes to positioning, and I think that's what is really impressive with him. So, hey, and look, you know what? It doesn't hurt to have Almiron also running wild behind you, and just the fact that actually he's missing some time. Well, we'll see how much that affects. I mean, have you looked into that much? Like, what's going on with his injury? Is there?
It was a hamstring issue.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought someone had mentioned that he was supposed to be out for the rest of the season.
You know what? Let me take a look here just to verify that, because that actually could very much be.
Yeah, he was pretty. He was pretty distraught after it happened because I think he kind of knew what it meant.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate, but then again, we've touched on this before in previous episodes. I mean, Tata he runs his horses into the ground, so that is
true.
United is that here we are about to come into the playoffs. Will Atlanta United have the horses to see him through? Because they're outstanding team going forward, but it takes more than that in the playoffs.
Just on MLSsoccer.com, I'm seeing that back on October 9th. See, this is a long time ago, though. I'm trying to find out, what his most recent... here we go. Well, see, the most recent thing on MLSsoccer.com on October 9th says that his injury was week to week.
Well, then maybe he will come back. That'll be a boost for Atlanta. They definitely need him because they do. I mean, they're obviously better with him on the pitch.
Well, they're better with him when he's at 100%. You don't want to put someone out there with a bunk hamstring.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So, yeah, I guess the point is that having Miguel Almiron could be one of the catalysts to help Atlanta move past the Red Bulls if it comes to that, right? And we'll see if he's healthy enough to do that,
Yeah, real quick, just looking back at these standings, as you guys probably already know, the top record, so Supporter Shield winner, basically if they can get to the MLS Cup final, will host the game, which obviously that right now is Atlanta.
Yep.
The Red Bulls are right there behind them. If they... Yeah, basically Atlanta just needs to either win or draw if New York Red Bulls draw. They just can't draw and Red Bulls win.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of in Atlanta's hand with that point differential there. But just looking at the standings, you have those two, 53 for New York City FC, Sporting has 59. So there are scenarios where the West could host the game if Atlanta and New York Red Bulls were not able to make the final. But
I just don't see that happening.
I mean, obviously one of them's not going to be there because they have to go through each other.
Eventually, yes.
But yeah, you have to feel like the MLS Cup final is going to go through it, either Atlanta or Red Bulls. I just don't see neither one of those teams making it. I'd be shocked.
Yeah, I would agree.
You know?
Well, very good, man. So we got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Matchday 10 for the English Premier League. Good things there. And just to kind of make sure everyone is up on that, so you know what you have to be watching this upcoming week. The big game of the week is going to be on actually Monday, October 29th. And that's Spurs hosting Man City. That's going to be the biggest game of Week 10. Matchday 10 for the Premier League. And then, of course, Decision Day with the MLS. We're going to see how the playoffs end up shaking out. Who gets the bye week? Who's hosting the knockout round games? And, just good stuff. Keep it in mind.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, your boy's going to be in Mexico.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be down in Mexico, huh?
When this is all happening. So hopefully I'll be able to get some kind of... I think we have some Wi-Fi going on at the place we're staying at. So we're not staying out in like a complete shack. But be able to get... put the antenna up and be able to get a signal and, keep current on what's going on.
Yeah, man. Well, either way, you still would be able to text, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, see, then I could just text you some details if need be. But anyways,
yeah.
I mean, look, man, this is vacation for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, enjoy yourself then. And by enjoy yourself, I mean make sure you watch the Galaxy.
Yeah, man, that's going to be on Sunday. I don't know what we're going to be doing exactly, what is going to be up at that time, but hopefully I can figure that out and see that, because I know it's going to be tense moments all across the league. All of the matches are kicking off at the same time.
Yeah, man.
All of them. So,
thus Decision Day. That way no one can kind of slack and give someone
the other ones are doing.
Nothing stupid. So everyone's going to be playing hard. So it should be fun.
We'll be watching just like all of us.
Yep, that's right. Well, very good, man. I'm looking forward to our next episode already. But why don't you finish us off, man?
All right, guys. Like always, till next time, enjoy the games and don't hate.
Do not hate.